Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report. Hashtag Feedback Friday. Damian Nelson standing alongside David Octavius Tiberius, the legend, your hero. Hi.
Yes.
How are you here on the 20th?
I'm fantastic.
Is that right? Survivor Series coming up on Sunday. Me and Gene Okerlund, our guest in Atlanta at the Hard Rock Cafe just before the Survivor Series on Sunday.
Stuff to do. It is snowing outside.
The weather outside is frightful,
catch these flights.
but the fire is so delightful. And tomorrow night it's a brand new prime time where we have Be the Booker for the Survivor Series.
My gig.
And much more. But before we do that, it's Feedback Friday, folks, and we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the feedback you guys have given us about whether or not this Survivor Series will be the final event for The Undertaker.
Oh, God, no. He goes out at WrestleMania.
On the WWE Network, it's 25 years of The Undertaker. It was the event by which he debuted at.
Yes.
He's wrestling, reuniting with his brother of destruction, Kane. This is framed in such a way that this could indeed be the last event for The Undertaker. I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be. You go to WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. So let's see. Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
100,000 people. They keep saying that'll probably be, well, it actually probably will be 100. So how do you get there from Survivor Series if Survivor Series is not it? They're certainly making it out to look like it's it.
Well, they have to. They want to sell tickets and network subscriptions.
Taker had a match with Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 31?
This
last one.
Yes.
So, and Undertaker, of course, won that matchup. Now going into the situation with the Wyatts on Sunday at Survivor Series, what does that develop into? Does that develop into a rematch for The Undertaker at Mania?
It is a way for Taker to get back on track, to get his heat back. You know, he had the bogus win over Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Bogus.
Then
he won after he tapped out.
And then he had the loss to Brock Lesnar the following month, or in the Hell in a Cell. And now
his match.
And now it's a way to get Taker to get that steam going.
Why are you walking all over the place?
You know what? I'm still in my boot, baby. I'm working this thing out now.
Just calm down. Don't get all worked up. It's all right.
I have a lot of stuff coming up the next couple weeks.
Yeah, you do. Blizzard Brawl, man, one of them. It could be your last show.
It very well could be. It could be my last Friday for a while. But it's Taker. It's Survivor Series, and he's not going to lose that Survivor Series on his anniversary show.
I think you did say that about Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. No, did I? I don't remember.
I remember you picked Undertaker to win.
I forgot what I did last night.
It has. They're doing a good job of making this a big event. However, they haven't built this event around Bray Wyatt and the Wyatts and the Undertaker and the Brothers of Destruction. Destruction has been built around the vacant WWE Championship. Before that, it was built around Roman Reigns being the number one contender.
Yes. And that's what it should be around.
SummerSlam, Hell in a Cell, Survivor Series, WrestleMania. Undertaker will have worked 4 special events, pay-per-views this year. When's the last time he did that?
6 years ago.
If that, yes. I think it is his farewell tour. If it is his farewell tour, who's going into the Hall of Fame next year? Is it The Undertaker or Sting?
Both. Put them both in. They both live in the Dallas, Texas area.
Sting doesn't live anywhere, and The Undertaker's from Death Valley.
Well, Sting's from Venice Beach, California, but now
he used to be.
But now he's in Dallas. You know, it'll be fine. It'll all work itself out. You know how this goes.
Let's go to our comment of the week this week. It comes to us from a YouTube user by the name of JudgeMan03, and this is in reference to what we talked about last week on Primetime, WWE's reliance on stars of the past to get viewers of today. And JudgeMan03 says this, and I quote, "Why is no one asking the important question of why an entire roster of talent that has been there for years is not able to sell out a WrestleMania?"
Well, here's why. They're no longer in 18,000-seat arenas. They're in stadiums. Okay?
Have been since 23.
Right. So, but at that moment, you also had huge stars. You had Austin and Rock and Jericho and DX and Mankind. And wrestling was doing a 9 rating combined with WCW and Monday Night Raw.
Not in 03. That's when they started the stadium run. You're right. But they had to build to that. Yes.
And you had the special attractions of the Shawn Michaelses versus the Takers and the Hulk Hogans, and Vince McMahon was on almost every WrestleMania too at that time.
Yeah, Donald Trump at 23.
So I mean, that's why now today everyone is mid-card.
Except Cody.
Sure, because he's now undercard because they're Stardust. So it's a mid-card company with John Cena at the top.
Well, you don't have John Cena at the top right now because we have news on what he's up to nowadays tomorrow on primetime.
Yes.
But great question, though, from JudgeMan03. We encourage you guys to share your comments on our videos right here on YouTube. And don't forget that coming up tomorrow night, it's a huge edition of Primetime. We're going to talk about what John Cena's up to, the big news from TNA Impact Wrestling just yesterday about their television future.
Huge pop.
And also, we will have Be the Booker for Survivor Series, which is Sunday on pay-per-view. We know that it's the semifinals and then the finals, if you will, to determine the new WWE champion. And we've got 4 very interesting competitors. Kevin Owens, Alberto Del Rio, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns.
Yes. 4 solid performers, and they're all underdogs going into tomorrow.
All of them, including Roman?
Yes, he's an underdog.
Roman's endorsed, you know.
I know, but he's an underdog.
And Ambrose is a hero guy.
I have Reigns and I have Ambrose.
I'm not talking about teams. I have endorsed Roman Reigns.
Okay.
You know, before he got as big a star he is.
I know.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I never endorsed Mark Henry.
Okay.
I understand you have a rant on Tyler Breeze, too, tomorrow night.
We'll talk about that tomorrow night. I mean, we can't.
Well, that's why I'm teasing it.
This is free.
Yes, it is, on the PWR Now Network.
PWR Now Network. Which,
Did you subscribe yet?
Of course I did.
I didn't see your name on the subscriber report.
I use it. It's Ron Psychowski. It's my alias.
Do you know that 18% of our listeners are over in Europe on the PWR Now Podcast Network? 18%.
Well,
2% in Asia. I don't know how that works.
I'm huge in Asia.
You're huge in your own mind, that's for sure. For that one, ladies and gentlemen, this is Feedback Friday. We'll see you tomorrow for prime time, and then Sunday after the Survivor Series, meet Ed and Matthew on the PWR Now Network with a full review in reaction to the Survivor Series. We'll see you tomorrow.